Author and translator, Zohreh Emrahnejad. That Cursed Night, Section 1, English version. That cursed night. It was the middle of the night. A heavy silence had taken over everywhere. The alleys and streets were empty, not a living soul in sight. Even the croaking of the frogs by the pond, who sang every night, was absent, and the chirping of the crickets that usually leapt among the branches could not be heard either. Everything was drowned in a dead, suffocating silence. Out of the darkness, suddenly, a ghost-like figure appeared in the distance, running frantically down the street with overwhelming fear and panic, glancing over his shoulder every few steps, then continuing on with trembling legs, as if he were fleeing from something or someone. In his shaking hand was a large knife, its tip soaked in blood. When he finally felt certain no one was following him, he stopped, catching his breath. Only then did he notice the knife, and the blood on his own hand. A shiver ran through his frail body. He wanted to let out a scream from the bottom of his heart, but the sound suffocated in his throat. In that horrifying moment, the only thing he could think to do was to throw the knife to the ground quickly and, instinctively, cover his mouth with his other hand, as if preventing any leftover sound from escaping. Just then, a faint light appeared at the end of the alley. His eyes froze on it. He stepped backward, and quickly hid behind a trash bin leaning against the wall. His breaths were short and broken, so rapid that it seemed he might faint from anxiety. Footsteps echoed from afar, growing louder. Approaching fast. Someone was coming. He squeezed his eyes shut, holding his breath, trying desperately to make himself smaller so he wouldn't be seen. But the shadow approaching from the distance grew larger and larger, until the figure stopped just a few steps away from him. The blood-covered young man behind the bin did not blink. He didn't dare breathe. Only the pounding of his heart thundered in his ears. The unknown person hesitated, scanning the area carefully, and then, in complete silence, walked away. The trembling fugitive, after making sure he was alone again, collapsed weakly to the ground. A tear slipped from the corner of his eye, as though he had only now realized what calamity had befallen him, and what tragedy had just taken place.